Greetings, my fellow adventurers. 'Tis I, Steve the Amateur Historian. I will be the plane pilot for you on this little excursion today. I'm walking along 136th heading towards Holgate, which is just dead ahead, and then I'm gonna veer to the left, or rather eastbound, because today I'm gonna take you up onto Powell Butte. Steve the Amateur Historian. Now, about 2 years ago, I did a video at Powell Butte, but I'm not just recovering covered ground because I had about 2 hours. I thought I'd be able to traverse it that quickly. I ended up coming out on a side that I didn't know where I was. It took me forever to come and catch a bus, and I had a movie date with my girlfriend, so I couldn't be late. So there was about 10 minutes of, ooh, Powell Butte, followed by like, I gotta get off this thing. And then I end up on the street and I'm like, where am I? I don't know where I am. Holy Lord, look at this place. Anyway, I need to get across the street. It's about as good a time as any. So I pretty much saw maybe a quarter of Powell Butte before having to rush out. In fact, the video is called Being an Idiot Up on Powell Butte, if you want to see that. And I may even, if there's anything from that video that I don't see on this trek, I may include it just to give a full perspective on the whole thing. It's a pretty big sized butte. It's definitely bigger. Well, I don't know if I want to say it's definitely bigger than Mount Tabor. Well, I think it's taller but not wider. And yeah, there's like a park. I don't remember this ever being here. Maybe it's been here for a while, but there's this park space right here that I figured I'd pass through on my way up to the butte. There's a couple people out there letting the grass grow. A little bit of a hill. It's very pretty. And I think there used to be a couple. I think there used to be like a house there and a house here that got demoed. That's what's so weird is I was recently, the house that I grew up in was just a little back of us, and it's gone now, but I found no proof of any demolition permits for it. Then again, the city of Portland is sketchy. This is really cool, and you have this great view of Powell Butte in the background. You see this view and you'd almost think you're in a small town with just a few little houses peppered in the background. Then you turn and look this way and you realize, nope, you're in Southeast Portland. This is about as pretty as this side of Southeast Portland gets, though. So here's Powell Butte. This is another benefit of stepping down in here is you get to see Powell Butte from this would be the west side of it, and you get to see how big it is. It starts kind of down over there along the Springwater Corridor, wraps around here. That's where I'm headed. Exiting out of this beautiful little park space, I am now on Holgate, which Holgate over here this is kind of the end of it, but if you go far enough back that way, ooh, something happened to that car. This is actually a pretty busy street. I actually work on off Holgate. So you get to this side, and this is the end of it, so it's just kind of this tiny little street, but there's a offshoot trail taking you up to the butte. Oh shit. Looks like a pretty solid climb. So if I'm correct, this wraps up and there's like kind of a little farming, what have you, up here, and so this is essentially the end of Holgate Boulevard. But then there's here we are. We have entered Powell Butte. There's like a bar up there that's probably tied to that farm, whatever. Okay, finally take my goodies off. Okay, so yeah, I haven't been here, and yeah, I've never come through this way because I certainly don't remember these rock formations. That way's gonna take me down, so I don't want to go in that way. I don't like the looks of these. There's like a couple guys that just came up behind me and they're loitering by the exit. So that's a little, and they're like looking at me. This is an area where you can get messed with. Should probably hide my debit card in my sock. Look at all these rocks. Yeah, I've never come through this way, so this is all new to me. Careful of all the rocks on the trail. This is like old curbstone here. Someone was sleeping here. Yeah, those are kind of, I don't know what that was for. Those are things I love to find in old parks like this. Because, you know, a lot of times when you look up information about places like this, it's really humid in here, which I guess is good, but I'm getting very soaked. That looks like one of those mystery trails that dies. But you know, you look up the history of places like this, and they talk to you about what's been going on here since this became like a natural park space. They don't really tell you much about what was here before. Oh man, that's beautiful. There's some kids up to no good down there. I remember this too from climbing up, and it's because the reason these are here is because there's two massive underground reservoirs under this butte. So you're like, why are these big pipes up here? Now I'm also being presumptuous, like I know that those big reservoirs are under this, and you gotta think, for what other reason are there these big pipes? Now I didn't know that before, and I'd be like, what are these? Why are these here? What do they do? What purpose do they serve? Where do they go? And it's because there's just two massive reservoirs under this thing. It's nice, just the dry, toxic, smoky air we've had, but it is very, very humid in here. Like, it'll get that way when you're here amongst the trees, you know, and you're in a very forested area, but even then, it was not humid at all getting here, and like being in the trees, in the brush for like, I don't even know if it was a minute. I could just start feeling the humidity all over me. The West Coast could use some humidity. That looks a little steep, but that, yeah, no, I remember coming through here. I think this is the, I had to climb all the way up here, and then I had to keep climbing. But it's like just up to there, and I know if I keep going that way, it's just gonna take me to the main area, which is where I wanna finish this. All right, so I'm here. Yeah, so if I go up, it'll take me more to the, yeah, see, visitor center's dead ahead, and I want to save that for the end, so looks like up I go. This is good. As I've been saying repeatedly for the past couple of weeks, I've needed some good thigh work. What better thigh work than a rickety wooden staircase? Yeah, because I remember climbing these and just feeling it. But one of the perks is, one, I take my mask off, but two, I'm already almost to the top of this thing. Pardon my heavy breathing. Mind you, it's the first walk I've gone on in 10 days. Okay. I made it. I made it. Just give me a second, America. Oh, felt that. Really felt that. All right, I think I'm good. Let's get up. Oh, I was good in my head to get up, but my legs were not. But anyway, we're pretty much about as high as you get on walking trails. What the hell? Somebody forgot their little baby bottle with some formula. Oh, that is not making my now very queasy stomach feel good. That baby formula's been there a while. Freaking yuck. Okay. But if I'm correct, this connects to a trail, goes back and forth, and that might give me a good wraparound of the whole place. I just don't want to go downhill a lot for obvious reasons. Oh boy. Yeah, and this is kind of the coming out into the more open, kind of in the middle, upper portion. This is the one area where this and the kind of visitor area down there, but it may wrap all the way around this way, but this is where the trees kind of separate for a while, and this might even be the main trail, because I know it's wider. It's almost more like a gravel road. That'll pretty much just take me back to the way I came from. But yeah, I think this way goes back to the visitor center. Okay. Yeah, it does. So keep going the same way I am. It's probably the best idea. Or I could go like that, but no, I think that's the visitor center is like right there. Hey-oh! Oh man, it's dirty under this thing. So from the main drag, yeah, we're gonna go this way. Yeah, people gripe about this place. They're like, oh, it's not that great. And I'm like, How entitled do you have to be? It's beautiful up here. You know, you have this stuff right in the middle of your city. You could be living in one of those Midwest towns where it's literally just flat land. There's like 4 trees in your whole town. And Portlanders, you know, entitled Pacific Northwesterners, bitch about having this in their own backyard. Children. Anyway, I'm trying to keep my eye out also for, again, kind of like that curbstone I saw, just little things that are evidence of another time, what else may have been here. And then also just trying to get, I'm trying not to film myself too much because I want you to see the butte and this uprooted tree. Dang, that was a big one. That probably took up part of this trail. Yeah, there was also a woman going this way, and I wanted to let her, I paused back there for a couple of minutes because I wanted to let her get ahead of me so we wouldn't be constantly bumping into each other. I haven't felt this vibe in a long time, and it is a good, peaceful vibe. You know, like Mount Tabor's nice, but it's more central Portland. You get a lot more people there. There's a lot more things to do, so you attract a lot more people. But Powell Butte, it's like you come up here to walk around and hike, and that's really all there is to do up here for the most part. So you have a lot fewer people coming through here, and most of the people that do are just, you know, walkers, runners, hikers. Here in that bird, I was gonna say there's a lot of interesting bird life here. There's also an amazing succession of animals that actually dwell or can be seen up here. Even the occasional cougar has been seen up here, so I didn't prepare for that. Very rare though, usually only when, well, I was gonna say only when they have to leave their more rural surroundings because something happens and I think, oh, well, there was just a big wildfire recently. But still very rare, rarely seen. Coyotes is another one you gotta kind of look out for, but other than that, various species of birds, ground squirrels, a few types of deer, like just a lot of just various wildlife. And yeah, you'll hear all sorts of wild bird noises in here that you're not really gonna hear any other part of the city because they may be birds that are like specifically dwellers to this area. They like to keep their family in one area. And I read up a little bit on Powell Butte's history. There's really not a whole lot to it. I forget exactly when this actually became like park space. I want to say it wasn't too long ago, but it's escaping me at the moment. Yeah, I mentioned the big reservoir tanks. I actually think the people that owned most of this property, it was the Kellys, who also owned Kelly Butte and a lot of the land around it. In fact, it used to be called Kelly's Butte, you know, showing ownership. And then it became Kelly Butte. And I think that same family, Plimpton Kelly was his name, Plimpton. I believe he owned a lot of this land and eventually sold it to the city. So it seems pretty much anywhere there was a butte, Plimpton Kelly owned it on the east side of Portland. And yeah, these are all of these, you know, buttes that pop up: Mount Tabor, Kelly Butte, Powell Butte. There's a butte called, it's spelled Jenne. I still don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Jenne Butte. They're all aftermath of the like Missoula floods that came through here, deposited a lot of, you know, there's a lot of these little buttes through here. And a lot of, I don't know if you're seeing these little flashes. Those are all like spider webs that I think I'm about to walk into. How could I be? This is a frequently walked trail. I'm not the only person to walk this trail today. And the air smells good. You know, it's a hell of a spot. Right there, so that's the trail I believe I was on earlier. So I'm actually kind of slowly meandering downward, and I think this kind of wraps us around so I can get to the other side of the butte, which will probably require a little more climbing later on, but hopefully not too much. Or maybe, no, I don't think this wasn't the trail I was on. This is that kind of main trail. So actually, I could have gone that way and it would have connected with this one, but this trail's better. It's more rustic, it's a little more peaceful. This is just kind of a big trail that cuts right across the whole thing. This is much more personable. And there are, like I felt something scratch my leg. It's probably just a sticker bush. But of course, like any other park, you gotta look out for the poison oak. Yeah, something poked me like right here. It's a little itchy, so you think, oh no. But also, you know, anything that pokes you can make you itch. Oh well, so much for being personable. This trail just comes out. Well, at the other one. Well, I don't regret it. All right, so I obviously don't want to go this way. I want to keep going this way. Oh, good. This is actually good. See, you didn't see that this is what happens up here, but this is what I want. I wanted to wrap around and see all this. So perfect. Well. Manhole cover. Man, covering up their whole secrets. Oh man, we're going down a little bit more again. Oh no, don't make me climb. Don't make me climb again. Come on, boss. I'll work that overtime shift. I'm sorry I was so mean to you the other day. Just don't make me do this. Oh man, it's over for me. It's all downhill from here, which means it's all uphill again at some point. This thing just zigzags, yeah, doesn't it? I'm getting a little queasy. Maybe they considered this just a little bit too steep to just have you go straight down, so they kind of rolled in. These are all over the park, telling you to stay the hell off the plant life, which you should be doing anyway. I know they're trying to restore plant life in a lot of these places, but also, you know, there's poison oak and random stuff out here. Here's another, like I saw probably somewhere down there. Another big old, this is definitely old. This is aged and weathered and covered. Oh God, a bee just hit me in the eyelash. I don't think he stung me though. Jeez. But yeah, you can see how weathered it is and covered with moss. I don't know what this is for, but these are the things I love finding again in these little parks, is stuff you see it and you're like, what is that? What is it? It seems to me there's a lot more of that stuff on the west side of the park, which I came in from the west, but now I was walking east, and then after I went up the stairs, now I'm heading. Here's more concrete, kind of submerged. So yeah, those slabs, they're just kind of scattered in this area. You hear that? I spoke over him. There's a dog barking, and I'm pretty sure there's is it a goat? I hear the neigh. I think there's goats down there. Not probably part of that farm space, but yeah, I hear them. Or at least I hear one. Oh yeah, there's like a building there, and there's like a domed roof. So there's, yeah. Probably someone's farmland. Keep hearing noises down there that sound like it's too big for an animal. Or at least a small animal. Blueberries fading in the September weather. Well, that was just a leaf. You can actually kind of see some of the city through there. What is this? This is an equine, I guess that's how you say equine facility. By your presence on these grounds, you have indicated that you have accepted the limits of liability resulting from inherent risks of equine activities. This is not a spectator area. So it's implied that you, I'm not going to, but it's like implied you can just, yeah, this fence isn't even locked. It's implied you can just walk through here onto this property. It's like, no, not that there's no trespassing, it's just if you cross into here, we don't have liability for you. That's interesting. You'd think they'd just be like, hey, don't come in here unless we told you it's okay. I have to look that up. Equine or equine, I don't know what it is, so I don't really know how to pronounce it. What is this? It's like a big old swing hanging from this not very strong looking branch. That looks very, I guess it's only like a foot or two off the ground. You'll probably be fine. Every couple of steps I take, I'm like, what's going on at this equine facility? I'll look that up and put a title in here. I mean, those of you that know about it, obviously it doesn't matter to you, but if you're as curious as I am, then I'm gonna look that up when I'm done. Is this a trail, or is this just like one of those things that looks like a trail, but it's more just a dead-end viewpoint? Yeah, it is. There's fencing here, so obviously this is where the Butte property ends and private property begins. But we have a big old horse. Well, hello, you. Enjoying the daily munch. Yeah, so there's farmland over here. Back to the main trail and onward. Oh boy, I'm starting to feel a little worn out. Again, I haven't walked a considerable distance in over 10 days. So, you know, that's why I gave myself a decent, but not too crazy plan for a walk, adventure, what have you, is I know I have time. So if I start feeling real tired, I could sit down, take a break, stretch my legs out a little bit more, and finish what I started. And on that wraparound, we're now kind of venturing kind of back into the belly of the beast, back into the nature of things. Okay. Yeah, because I've been holding this selfie stick for a while, and I'm really feeling it. I've been doing a lot of exercising of my lower arms because they've been withering away in quarantine, and muscles are tightening up in that right lower arm. Well, of course, that does all the work, you know? I didn't realize truly till this quarantine began and went for a while how much I actually used my lower forearms, because I was always carrying something at work, and when I'm vlogging I'm almost always using this selfie stick and holding it up, and it's obviously it's not that much weight, but you know, it's something that you're holding up with your hand for an extensive period of time. And you know, I stopped vlogging outdoors for a long time and I stopped working, and my forearms went to trash, and I'm trying to strengthen them along with the rest of my body so I'm just healthier and just generally feel better. Of course, the wildfire smoke keeping me indoors for the better part of a week and a half was not extraordinarily helpful. Got some bird activity out here. Yeah, the humidity just like tripled now that we're back amidst the trees. So hopefully this will be as steady. Oh no, decisions. I know the last time I went here, I went this way. So there's anything of substance down there, I can just co-opt it from my other vlog, because I'm curious where this goes, and this one just keeps going down. Like, I think eventually it takes you to the base of, I know if you get way to the other side, you'll note I'm now using my left hand to hold the selfie stick, because literally, like, my forearm right there is like about to spasm, which is okay. I give it some work, so now I'm trying to keep it as steady as I can. I'm not used to using my left hand holding the selfie stick, but I gotta get both my arms exercise. So I haven't gone this way, but I went this way last time, and so I want something a little new. Wow, that didn't take long to come to another trail ahead. Which way do I go? That looks like a lot of uphill nonsense. I don't have a thing to guide me, so of course, as I was hoping wouldn't happen, I may be in trouble. Okay, so now I have less than 15 minutes to get out of this park, and I don't know what part of it I'm in. Dude, check this out. That's absolutely insane. I love it. My God. Look at that. That's gotta be one of the biggest trees in this park. There's so many bicyclists out today. I mean, it is Portland. I keep seeing just the most amazing of trees along the stretch. This one obviously dead and just it's slowly falling over, but it's like, it's still got some grip. That's something else that's pretty wild. Now I'm starting to jog a little bit. It is downhill. I may be out of shape, but I can handle a downhill run. Check this out. Mount St. Helens. Please tell me I'm near some exit. Oh, that is just douchey as hell. Shit. Okay. Springwater corridor, that doesn't fucking help me. Man, I'm fucked. Okay. Whew. That didn't help. Shit. I swore this came out of Division. I'm in trouble. I'm in a lot of trouble. This is so dumb and ridiculous. However, I'm only 20 blocks from a bus that could pretty much get me to where I need to go. Powell Butte, everybody. But this is okay. We got another one of these things here that kind of sort of tells you your general area. Emergency junction 25. Okay, so I am good, yeah, because this trail wraps around to here. This one takes me up to here. And then, yeah, I think you get up more up there. That's kind of you're heading towards the other side of the butte and towards the Springwater corridor. Ooh, look at this. Wow, took a tumble. A little further along down the trail, and we're kind of coming out of all the trees. I don't really remember this trail, which is good. I don't know what lingers ahead. It's just things are kind of starting to open up again. Here we are. Again, there are people that bitch and moan about how this place ain't good enough. To them, I say, pull that stick of, what's the word I'm looking for? Pull that stick of privilege out of your ass and just, come on. Look at this. This isn't good enough for some people, apparently. Oh, almost tripped. Yeah, so we're like right up on top of this thing. This is a tough choice. If I knew more where this is going, because I kind of want to end up down here. I'll go this way a little bit. I plan on going the other way, but I can't pass up this view. Look at how, I don't think that's, maybe that's wildfire smoke. It looks more stormy. Interesting. God's name is this not good enough? All right, so this trail kind of wraps up and around up onto the ridge out here. That's probably about as far as I'm gonna go, because then it kind of dumps you down and brings you in on the other side of the butte. I'd rather go back that way. As we reach this turn, these are actually like the hills. These are like the kind of the Clackamas Happy Valley Hills here, kind of just south of us. So we're still a little ways, but we're kind of getting towards the border where Portland ends and Happy Valley begins. I haven't been up in this area since I was probably 20. I forgot all about this stretch. Okay, so I just came up to here, so that takes me back that way, which I don't want to go. This summit one, there's a picture of a camera here. I wonder if that means it's a viewpoint, because I can maybe do this full wrap around. That's a little bit much though, and I probably end up going down a lot. I think I could go that way, but I think I'm gonna go this way. What in the world is up here? There's a bench and there's something else. What the heck is this? So there's a bench here. That's nice enough, but what is this? What is this? It's just oh, okay. I know what this is. Awesome. So, there is north. No, they have one of these on the top of Rocky Butte, and it points to you the direction of various mountains. For instance, we've got Mount Jefferson, which is in the Cascades. So it's directly that way. Of course, not viewable from here, but Mount Scott, which is big, pretty much the going into Kelly Butte, which I know all too well, is off that way. And then just a little bit off of that is my Mount Tabor. So they're almost the same viewpoint from here. Rocky Butte is directly this way. And I can actually, that's when you can actually see this high point here. That's Rocky Butte. I did a video there and they had something very similar to this, although not quite as big. Mount St. Helens, directly that way. However, it does look lost in the rain. Mount Adams, which is actually really tall. Just kind of gets lost and forgotten. It's through here. So if I look between these trees, it's kind of hidden up there in the mist. And there's Larch Mountain, which is in the Columbia River Gorge that way. It may actually be this tip here, Gresham Butte, which I've had the displeasure of climbing once before. I think it's that big thing right there because we're not too far away from Gresham. And then I think I ended up climbing that one too in my Springwater Corridor thing. It started there and I ended up walking all the way to the other side of this, almost 60 blocks that way. So it was a long trek. And then of course Mount Hood, is directly that way, but it's obstructed by a tree, rain, and these buttes and such. But Mount Hood would probably on a clear day be visible through here past the trees. So that's cool. I was like, what the heck is this? But it's one of these things that points out, it's a viewpoint to where you can at least theoretically know where a lot of these are. And here's another path, but it's gonna lead me away I don't want to go. It almost looks like it just ends. So I guess we keep going this way, taking in all of this grandeur. This is definitely one of the most photogenic spots, literally just spots, one little area that I've been to in a long time. You've got the trees, you've got the grass, you've got the hills in the distance. You got everything. And then most of Portland is back this way. Those clouds are very foreboding, but it looks like they're moving that way. Because I'd much rather have this. Yeah, it's wild because the wildfires are happening like right through here. Like Estacada is probably like that way. And the fires have been, so maybe that haze back there is the fires. I don't know to this point how much they have them contained, but it almost looks like there's just clouds over there. Hope that's a welcoming sight. Oh, you got a little bench here. I see that like on these things there's little camera icons at certain spots, and I'm wondering if this is one of those where this is like this little roundabout things here. This is here specifically for just plopping down and taking a view of everything. That's a swell view. A bunch of people have taken the time to carve various whatnots, probably a lot of initials, a lot of lovers. I'm guessing that's an A plus M. Amy and Michael? I don't know. Hope you guys are still together. Zigzag down the Wild Horse Trail and cut over, head towards the visitors center. Little bicycles. Yeah, this looks a little less bike friendly than those trails we were just on. It's wild to be out walking around. It's like the sun isn't setting yet, but it's kind of getting to that point where it's starting to really drop in the sky. I'm not used to being out vlogging when it's like that. Of course, you know, the longest day of the year is June 21st. Get out of my face. Whatever, I look cooler now, don't I? And so yeah, we're almost 3 months past that. So yeah, we're getting to a point where the sun's going down, you know, just a little after 7, and it's like 5:30, thereabouts. So it'll probably, about the time I'm actually getting home, it's probably gonna start getting pretty legitimately dark out. It's supposed to be nice tomorrow, but sure is getting a little hazy, a little overcast. Yeah, so off that way is like the Columbia River Gorge, which I miss a bunch. Kind of past all this brightness where the sun's still hitting, that's Washington. And then just a bunch of East Portland in between all that. Briefly back into the trees, kind of eventually wrap around, and the visitor center's right back that way. Wrap around. Oh no, probably from the windstorm. So there's kind of like a little off trail here, it looks like. There's this one and this one. I can only assume this one gets us to the visitor center faster. I remember running cross country through here and having to zigzag up these things as a very inexperienced, slightly overweight cross country runner. It was the worst. Yeah, visitor center is right over there. That's where I ultimately wanted to make it to. So I traversed most of this thing. I missed a little bit way on the like south side of the butte, but we definitely saw the best stuff. Grasslands. It's cool. Little thing to look at as you pass by. It looks like there's another one up here. Makes sense that these would be over here because we're right by the visitor center, which this used to be nothing. When I ran cross country in the early 2000s, this was nothing. There was like, ooh, hi there, little fella. These things weren't here. I'm pretty sure maybe some of this was paved, but a lot of this was still gravelly trails. This big building wasn't here. This was not paved. This was all just a gravel driveway back in the day, and they really did a lot to it. And I don't remember this is this a house? Maybe like the people that like watch over the park, or maybe this is some kind of nature center. I have no idea what this is because that was, I'm pretty sure, not here. I feel like I would remember this even a while back. Again, the last time I was around this part of the butte would have been probably 2006, maybe 2007. But yeah, you know, it's like a paved driveway. There's actually like a big restroom building there. Like, none of this was like this. This was just like, you pretty much had, you had the gravel driveway and maybe like a porta potty. That was about it. Yeah, we'll see, this looks kind of new, but that back there doesn't. I don't know, maybe they just made it look rustic. I don't know what this is. Maybe it's a nature center of some kind, but yeah, here is the visitor center, and yeah, it's literally so much more bougie. They have like a whole building here now, and paved, and there's a little road over there that zigzags down the butte and drops you off, I think at 162nd, but I'm not going that way because I live this way, so I might as well go this way and exit this way instead of going down that way. And the further east you go in southeast Portland, it doesn't exactly get safer, so there's really no point in me coming out at around 162nd when I can come out like 20 blocks closer to home. And here's that main trail that kind of starts at the visitor center here and then kind of runs, and I pass. Or actually, no, it's not. No, it is. I was following and I'm like, oh, there's just a gate and some vehicles there. Yeah, I swear none of this was here. I remember there being nothing here. This is wild. Yeah, I don't remember any of this. You know, a lot can happen in almost 15 years. So hopefully this is leading me the right direction. Well, fortunately I've got one of these things here to make sure I'm not going crazy. Okay, I'm here. So I wrap around a Pipeline Lane. Yeah, that's where I want to be. Yeah, because here's the nature center, and yeah, see the road wraps around and goes down to Powell. So yeah, this wraps around and, oh, it says Powell Butte caretaker resident. So yeah, I guess probably these are the people that watch over the place. And yeah, this, I don't remember, I know I've said this like 500 times, I don't remember any structures being out here, even though this one's kind of rustic looking. Don't remember that at all. Okay, so this should hook into the main trail. That'll send me off that way. And then I can start making my way back home. And yeah, these clouds have rolled in. I don't think it's gonna rain. It wasn't supposed to. These were a little foreboding, but could be worse. At least when I was up there and got all those good shots, is before these clouds came in and blocked the sun. It's fine, cools it off a little bit. Now, is this the trail? I don't think so. I think this just wraps down to their thing. It's probably this up here. All right, and because I have my map app, I can find a way that drops me out, you know, closest to like the northeast corner of the park, up over here as I can get. Well, Powell Butte. It's still beautiful even when the clouds roll in. All right, good. I know where I'm going. First little hook-off trail I see, I take that, and then there's another trail that breaks off of that, and then that I will take, and it'll take me down to the street. Plan. What is this? I'm wondering if this is like, it says it's alarmed. It's obviously a place of importance. I wonder if this is like, maybe like a way into the underground area to like people who have to access the, look out for poison oak. Yeah, this is probably like where they go inside to like access the reservoirs and whatnot. It makes sense that it's alarmed. You don't want people just hop, skipping and jumping down in there. It's kind of what I figured. I was like, what is this for? This is another thing I don't remember. Might have been here, but I don't remember being here back in the day. I don't really remember exactly when they went full swing on these reservoirs. And I'm calling back on some very, very old, faint memories. Most of my memories out here during my cross-country days was just me going kind of like the sounds I make when I'm climbing up these stairs trying to get to the top of this damn thing. All right, so this looks like that little trail I branch off on. Holgate Lane, named after Holgate Boulevard, I can only assume. And this should wrap me down, take me down to the Paradise City where the clothes are pretty. It looks really rainy north of here. I really hope I don't get doused on. This looks old. There's like a little old wood something, wood support. Something. I don't know, maybe there was like a gate type thing here once upon a time. I really don't know. And we go down, 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 burning ring of fire. Go down, 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 and flames went higher. I'm butchering those lyrics, I know I am, and I've heard that song so many times. It's really sad. That is very foreboding weather north of here. Again, it kind of looked like the clouds were going northeast, but now they're kind of covering us over, so I don't know. It was supposed to be cloudy today and partly sunny tomorrow. Ain't nobody said nothing about this crap. Oh man, my hip is sore. I think I slept funny. I woke up with a sore right hip. My feet are a little bit sore, but this is also the first extensive walking I've done in like 10 days. And I don't know how far I've walked. I checked. I'm at 7.2 miles that I've walked, and I'm still not even off the butte yet. Got another at least 3 miles getting home, so I'll probably hit like almost 11 miles for the day. which if I can make it home without having to crawl, that's not too bad for someone who's barely walked the last 10 days. So this is taking me back down towards the street. I'm on the north side, obviously, of the butte, so I'm gonna come out on the northwestern side, somewhere off down there. That is if I don't get my idiot self lost. For these packs, I do declare there has been murder. Murder, Mama Juju! What am I gonna do? Ooh, look out for the little divots. This would be such a beautiful view. These some bitches weren't in the shot. It's all right. You do good work. I know why you're here. There we go. Oh, Lord. Amateur story and almost beefed it. That probably would have been a hospital trip. I don't know, maybe I would have been lucky. Just a few cuts and scrapes. Me lying somewhere down there just screaming, ah, help me. I think I broke myself. This is, do I be safe or do I break something? Well, I do not want to go to the hospital, so sorry. Buzzkill Steve is, I don't know. Going up is one thing, going down, that's, I don't know, that looks like a lawsuit. I don't know who would be filing it. Mr. Amateur Historian, you had the decision whether to go down that clearly reckless case, and you chose to do it. Yeah, but... This is good though, because one part of my body that's really needed some extra work has been my thighs. And they've gotten it today. I can feel it. They are fatigued. I almost couldn't stop. It's a good thing I'm coming to the bottom of this thing because I've only got about 30% battery life on my phone. And this is like my phone, the phone I use to call people, the phone I use to text, the phone that they need available to me in an emergency. So I need to have at least 10% battery life left. So we're kind of perfect ending time, but it's still, the battery, oh, son of a bitch. The battery life on this phone is pretty incredible. Maybe it's just I've been getting used to my other phone rapidly dying over the years, having weaker and weaker battery life, but I only got this phone charged to like 72%. So this phone wasn't even fully charged, and I did this full trek, and I still got about 13% left. So, and I videoed most of it. There was, the longest period of time I wasn't recording up here was maybe 90 seconds to 2 minutes. All right, well, looks like I'm about to hit rock bottom, as they say. Only this isn't quite as depressing as the usual circumstances surrounding a good old hitting rock bottom. I'm just coming out at the end of the trail, the end of the trek. We're in the city again. It smells like pee over here. Oh man. Welcome back to boring old Southeast Portland. Dear God, get out of my face. So anyway, that was my venture through good old sweet darling Powell Butte. I almost look sunburnt, but I think it's just that I'm a lot more tanned this year than usual. So, that being said, the journey is over. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end, thank you. You are a true fan. And as always, people, fellow adventurers, explorers, viewers, oddballs, whatever you want to call yourself, hope it doesn't rain on me. But just in case it does, do me a solid, like, share the video, comment, but keep it nice. Subscribe, that's the best thing you can do for me. And hit up my Patreon. That's probably a just as good thing y'all could do for me, if you so choose. And all that said, until next time, I'm feeling wiped out. But there's always another venture waiting around the corner. This has been Steve the Amateur Historian, and I'll see you next time.